Wow, Republicans are in a death spiral. And man, I tell you what, it is something to see. I want you to check this out, okay? Joe Biden did an amazing job at the State of the Union, and he snatched narrative after narrative after narrative from the Republicans and just claimed all of it as his territory. And Republicans are in a full-on freak out today. They are running around. They've got border Tourette's. All they can say is border, 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 border. I mean, it's just everything because they know they in danger, girl. They are really in danger. They have lost every one of their talking points, specifically the border bullshit. Joe Biden in the State of the Union talked about all of his accomplishments, which really threw the Republicans in a tizzy because they've been claiming those as their accomplishments. If you know anything about, my ridiculous, idiotic, money-wasting governor, Greg Abbott, you know that he's been claiming all of Joe Biden's wins as his own for the longest time. His entire re-election campaign was claiming Joe Biden's work. And Joe Biden just laid it out. He said, this is what I've done. This is what I've done about the border. He talked about seizing 28,000 pounds of fentanyl. That's right. Joe Biden did that. Joe Biden did that. It was Customs that seized those, not anybody else. No Republicans were involved. This was pure federal. 98 people on the terrorism watch list were arrested by federal agents. Joe did that. Way to go, Joe. Joe is the border boss. He is taking care of business. Then, they went on to talk about, and this is hilarious. This is right-wing media talking about trying desperately to cloud it up and change the narrative from what's really getting done because everything they've claimed has been a Biden win. And that is a political tactic, folks. You need to know this. That is a political tactic. Take your opponent's strengths and then portray them as a weakness. For instance, this tweet right here is from a right-wing, talk organization. It's why your uncle's so stupid. He sees stuff like this. Yeah, Trump had 2,000 engagements. Biden had 8,000. You know what an engagement is? It's, you're busted. You're busted. Yeah, Biden has 4 times as many busts down at the border, arresting people coming in illegally, than Trump did. 4 times. They're telling you themselves. They're just trying to portray it like it's a failure or something, because that's all they have. They have done nothing down at the border. Their wall arrested no one. Their wall seized no one. And by their own admission, since there were 8,000 more encounters down there, their wall stopped no immigration, just like we Democrats said it would. And what did Joe do? What did Joe do? Joe said, I am asking you for more of what works. I am asking you for more agents. I am asking you for more of the technology I use to seize fentanyl, and I'll seize more. What do Republicans do? They turn around and they lie. They lie. Look at this tweet from the House GOP. What's significant about that tweet? And I'm going to have them prove it wrong in their own words here in just a second. But what's significant about that is the first thing Chuck Todd said of NBC, the first words he uttered at the end of the State of the Union speech. After Joe Biden just hammered the border issue, just nailed it. I'm getting it done, folks. I am Joe Biden. I'm getting it done. Fund my bills that I want to push through. We'll get more done. And Chuck Todd immediately jumped on the Republican talking points. I'm telling you, the corporate media is all in on propping up these Republicans because they see it. They see it. These Republicans are dying. They have nothing to stand on. They've done nothing. They have nothing to stand on. So the corporate media is trying to prop them up. They're trying to prop up their own narratives. Literally, Chuck Todd said this word for word at the end of the State of the Union speech. Okay, so let's continue on. Let's show Marjorie Trader Greene and what she has to say.
I just got back to my office after listening to the State of the Union with Joe Biden. And part of the time we couldn't really understand what he was saying as he was yelling at people, yelling through the applause and mumbling through his words. Some of the things that we did hear didn't make any sense. Joe Biden claimed to care about the border and talked about fentanyl deaths, which is the #1 cause of young people ages 18 to 45, but yet has no plan to secure the border. And frankly, we all know he doesn't care about the border because Joe wants the border wide open. That's the whole problem with Joe.
Oh, okay, stop. Okay. She couldn't understand because Joe Biden was yelling, excuse me, this you? This you? Yeah. Republicans started that crap. You remember during the Obama administration, that one frickin' Republican idiot that destroyed decorum and screamed, "You lie!" when Obama was sitting there telling the absolute God's honest truth. But he yells, "You lie!" So what is Marjorie, the elevator flagellator Greene do in the middle of the speech when Biden says, "Hey, you people are on the record wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare. You're on the record. Some of you people do. I know most of you don't, but some of you." What does Marjorie Trader Greene do? "You lie!" Screaming like a diseased howler monkey. And then she turns around and tries to say Biden was yelling at them. Always, they accuse us Democrats of what they do. Joe Biden never yelled at anybody in that speech. Not once. But this diseased howler monkey did. Okay, and then the second thing here is I told you they was going to use their own words to prove Biden said what he said.
Your reaction to the president urging action at the border, I was astounded by it.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me on. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for inviting me. And as you mentioned, I gave the Spanish rebuttal last night, so I covered some of that on what I said. And unfortunately, we didn't hear enough from the president on the issue that matters to Americans today, which is border security.
Did you hear that? Oh, Biden talked about the border now? Oh, Biden did talk about the border. You just don't like that he snatched your narrative from you. That he told the entire world the truth. That you've been claiming his successes as your own. It's bullshit. It's all they have, folks. It's all they have is to lie to you. Joe Biden has a bill. Joe Biden has a bill in Congress on Chuck Schumer's desk, ready to go, that will reform our immigration system and stop the illegal immigration. He has a bill on that desk that will add additional technology, not a bullshit, stupid, dead wall that does nothing, that has arrested no one, and by the Republicans' own admission, not stopped illegal immigration, but real technology that will do all of that. It is on Chuck Schumer's desk right now. They would pass it today if you got 10 Republicans to cross over and vote with the Democrats. That's it, folks. That is reality. Democrats do the work. Republicans claim other people's work, then turn around and lie about them. Why would they say that there are 8,000 engagement, 4 times more than Trump, when they're building a border wall? I thought the border wall worked. It doesn't work. Nothing they've built has worked. Hell, their border wall's falling frickin' down in most places. It's idiocy. Build a border fence around the cities. That stops petty crime. Sure, Democrats would sign on to that today. But building border walls out in the middle of the frickin' desert where nothing is stupidity and a waste of money, and we Democrats will not do it because we will not waste your money that way, and we will do what is effective, and that is utilize technology at the points of entry where this fentanyl, where these drugs are coming across. That is reality. We Democrats get it done. When it comes to the border, we get it done. Republicans obstruct and lie. That's all they have. That's all they have. That's all they've ever done is obstruct and lie. They're just liars. And they're useless. Stop electing them. They're useless. Look at Marjorie Traitor Greene screaming like a frickin' animal in the middle of the State of the Union speech. That was not acceptable. That decorum demanded, House rules demanded that people engage respectfully during the State of the Union speech, which meant you sit quietly, you heard what he said. After his time was over, then you could voice your objection. That is the way it used to be when Democrats ran everything. But no, Republicans want to act like children. Ah, you lie, you lie, screaming at the damn president. The world is watching. The world is watching, and what they saw is that idiot, Marjorie Traitor Greene, the elevator flagellator, the fart representative, and I'm not kidding, look it up, screaming like a fool during one of the marquee events that showcases our government. And then now today, Republicans are all over the place, desperately trying to reverse the narrative that Joe Biden's taking care of business down at the border. I say we Democrats hammer it home. Hammer it home. Republicans have done nothing. They have done nothing. They do nothing. All of the arrests down at the border are due to Joe Biden and his agents. All of them. Joe Biden, his agents. All the drug seizures, Joe Biden, his agents. Getting it done, folks. Wants to do more, but Republicans are obstructing as usual. As usual. What do we have? We have Ted Cruz with this treat.
Let me focus on three of the most dishonest things he said. Number one, he stood up and said, support my plan to secure the border and to stop fentanyl. And literally the chamber began laughing because Joe Biden made a political decision to have open borders. The result is the worst illegal immigration in the history of our country and the worst fentanyl crisis this country has ever faced, with over 100,000 overdoses each year. And he doesn't intend to change that, and yet he's claiming he wants to secure the border. A second big lie he had was when he said that the world knows now that the Biden White House, and he's tough on China. You know, Sean, as you pointed out, the whole world just finished laughing at the president when for over a week a Chinese spy satellite, a spy balloon, conducted espionage on our military bases while the president impotently wrung his hands and did nothing.
First of all, he lies about the border. Second of all, he lies about China and that stupid fucking balloon again. The stupid balloon that Joe Biden handled perfectly. Perfectly. And nonsense. And nonsense is all he has. That's it, folks. That's all they've got. That's all they've got. We need to end this, folks. We need to end this. Please hit the subscribe button. Take a look at the commercial after this. Help us out if you can. I love you, folks. This is Old Texas Paul. We are on the offensive. Let's do this.
The best part of waking up? MAGA Tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA Tears mug available now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.